Okay, all right, this is day 5, working with the katana and the wakizashi / otanto that I've forged out. I've had both blades soaking in vinegar over the last 14 to 15 hours. So let's see how they turned out. Now, as you can see, these blades actually had a little bit of a rough grind on them before, but I wanted the vinegar to be able to knock off most of the scale. So as you can see, I've managed to achieve that goal. And the blade is a little bit wide, but it actually matches the width of this katana right here, which just came out of the vinegar. So it's getting ready to be rough filed. We're looking at 34 inches total, and I'll let you take a look down the long axis of this blade. You can see how thick it is. It's just shy of 3/8 of an inch thick. It's about 1.5 inches wide. I'm still thinking about trimming it down just a little under 1.5 inches, but it is actually balancing itself out as I go. So we'll see how this turns out. Now, what I'm going to be doing here is I'm actually going to be rough filing the profile of this blade. Okay, in order for me to be able to do that, I'm going to use the long part of my table. I have a filing / polishing pedestal that I set up over here for shorter, smaller blades, but I've never really actually worked on anything this long. Normally I would just slap a 2x4 in one of my vices and lay this on top and bolt it down, but actually I want to have a little bit more control. I want to have something that's a little bit longer and flatter so I can actually see if I flip the blade over where my high spots are. Once I get it filed down, then I'll mark it up with a Dykham's bluing, and I'll start filing it again, and that will let me see where all the high spots are on this particular blade. So right now what I'm going to do is get my clamps adjusted, and I'll apply it midway on the blade, and then I'm going to tighten it down. And then I'll start filing. Now I'm going to zoom in and allow you to be able to see what I'm doing here. Now I use a mill bastard file to do some of my rough filing. I have some other files that I will bring out here in a little bit that actually will take off more metal. But I need to see how soft this steel is to see if I need to go back and re-normalize it again. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with the tang side first. So as you can see, I'm removing quite a bit of steel here. So this sword is pretty soft. I need to make sure I don't cut any divots in it when I'm filing or file too hard on one particular spot. I also want to be careful when I'm filing because the steel will heat up, and filing does affect the blade. So the best thing to do is to check it every now and then just keep going. so now as you can see, I pretty much got this side of the tang all cleaned up. It's all nice and polished up with the file. I still got a few little areas that I'm going to try to get out right now. So, change the files. I'm going to use my Nicholson Magic Cut files. They're usually really good at removing material. Now, what else I've done is, you probably cannot see it here, but there's a little nick in the blade. That's where it's going to be the demarcation for my tang. I'm going to have about an 8-inch tang because this is going to be a heavy blade. So we need to have as much muscle in the tail end as we do in the front end. And based off my calculations, that will give me a balance point about 6 inches up the blade from where the Tsuba is going to be.